Hello everybody and welcome back to World of Warships Legends. My name is Spartan Elite 43 and tonight we are back in the Amagi. And we have two guys with us. We've got Tuna and Jaywith. And between the two of them and me, we are going to absolutely annihilate the enemy. And by annihilate, I mean it's going to be a really rough game for us and the enemy. Because sometimes it just comes down to one of those games where literally everybody shoots at you and you got to deal with it. So we're going to do it. Or at least the best we can anyway. Now, we're in the Amagi. Why are we back in the Amagi? Well, it's simple. The Amagi is the only battleship that I have currently that didn't quite have enough XP to get to the Tier 8s when they come out. So that's right. When the Tier 8s come out, I will be able to get all of the battleships. And this was one of the games that I needed to get that to make it happen. So that's what this is all about. Now, we spawn mid. I'm kind of going towards the right, but I'm going to pay attention to see where everybody's at and see where I can affect the match the best. And what ends up happening is me going mid-right channel here, rather than going all the way out to the right or all the way out to the left. Now, we spot a hipper right off the bat. And I mean, we don't spot him, but we see him. And so he's going to come in and he's going to kind of stop. I don't understand it, but whatever. Floats his boat. And in this case, might actually sink him because that's a pretty solid salvo from an Amagi. Even if he's bow in, it's going to hurt. And we get a Citadel and we get 17,000 damage off of him right off the bat. Now, we did get shot by the Richelieu, which is unfortunate, but we get away with it. But we're looking over. We've got the hipper over there. He's now decided he doesn't want to sit still, so he's going to go forward, which is even worse because now he's giving the broadside of his ship to me. And he's just lucky to get away with it because we darn near killed him again. This time leaving him just enough to get away, at least for a couple of more seconds until my teammates recognize that they can kill him. And you can see I'm almost loaded again, so I'm like thinking I'm going to have to shoot the guy and kill him. And fortunately, we don't have to. Now, unfortunately, fortunately for me, unfortunately for this Colorado has decided he wants to give his guys shore leave. And I hate to break it to him, but administration says your shore leave request has been denied. Wait for it. Pow! He's gone. He's just gone. Like, what was that? I have not citadeled a Colorado that hard in a while. But just like that, we're up to 4 Citadels and 67,000 damage done. Now, the downside of having so much going so well so early in the match is you start to get a bit overconfident. But we're going to push up anyway. Now, watch what happens to this game here. So, I'm going to push up. I see a bunch of guys on the right. Now, the best part about controlling the center of the map is that you can help everybody on the map, right? The downside of being in the middle of the map is everybody on the enemy team has a potential chance to shoot you. And if you're not paying attention, it can end really, really badly. Case in point, in about T-minus 2.5 minutes. So, we're going to move forward. We got a Graf Spee here, which is kind of hilarious because the guy is in a Tier 5 and a Tier 7 match. It's not going to end well. Stop fail divisioning. It doesn't work in your favor. So here we know we can't shoot the rear guns, so we just shoot the fronts. The first shot from the fronts completely missed. The second shot does hit, but does nothing but overpin, which is not surprising. And then we've got the rear guns finally getting past the island, and we get, we get a full penetration, but the rest of the shells miss. And that's just the tale of the Amagi. The Amagi does this to you. It'll absolutely annihilate, and then it'll completely miss the target. It's just the way it is. But he's turned away now. He's angled, so we're going to be getting full penetrations here. And we get him with the front guns, and now we're going to look for the rear guns to try to finish him off. But he's got torpedoes inbound as well. Are we going to get killed? Yes. Yes, we are. Now, pay attention to what's about to happen. Now, I'm about to move forward to get shots at this Massachusetts, but I am currently spotted because there is a Richelieu pushing up on Jaywith right now, and Jaywith is also being focused by the carrier. Now, with all of that happening, I'm not paying attention. I'm tunnel vision. I say tunnel vision. I know what's going on, but I just trust that J-With is going to be able to handle himself over there. I didn't realize the carrier was also messing with J-With. But we managed to get rid of the Massachusetts, which is huge, because he was pushing up on Tuna. So we saved Tuna, and that's when we see that we have a Richelieu that's about to have our broadside. So we turn in, we take a shot from the Kansas, who's keeping his distance, which is not preferable, but J-With ends up going down between the carrier and the Richelieu. And here, the Richelieu's idea is to just ram me. And I expected this, so I'm turning as hard as I can to get all of my guns on target to shoot the superstructure of this guy, because I'm hoping that his superstructure isn't completely saturated. And fortunately for me, it's not. And our saving Tuna comes in handy to save us. So we managed to take all the health off the Rishi. Tuna comes through to finish him off. But unfortunately, this now means that I am in a predicament. Now, notice I'm not turning in towards this Kansas. I knew he was going to shoot us, and so we wanted to stay angled. But unfortunately, that's also going to mean that we're going to run into the island, which is not preferable. I'm trying to avoid such a thing, so I'm turning as hard as I can. I slow down a little bit here in a moment, but it's a little too late for that, as we crash broadside into the island, or we crash nose into the island, but we're broadside to the Kansas. And I don't know if you guys have ever seen a Kansas video on my channel, but being broadside to a Kansas at any range, let alone medium range, is a very bad idea. And he punches us right in the mouth. Destroys one of our turrets in the process, which is not preferable. And then the carrier decides to show up with his freaking torpedoes, and of course he gets a flood. Really? Where is that when I get into a carrier? My carriers never cause floods, man. It's a joke. But he does get a flood. He takes me down, which is real unfortunate. But we've managed to make a huge impact in the game. Even if we only did 130,000 damage, we killed 3 people. We got 5 citadels. Got a depth strike in there as well. Like, we've done enough that the team should be able to easily carry. Now, you can see our guys are grabbing Alpha, which is big. And then Tuna is going to be able to move up with those guys. There's a destroyer out here trying to kill the Kansas, but he has failed up to this point. I think he has hit him with torpedo at one point or another. But Tuna's able to lob the islands on the Kansas. But he's trying not to get deleted, because sometimes you got to recognize you got the points lead. You don't need to do anything crazy. Okay? And our guy's about to grab A, so that means we're going to continue to get more points to separate us from the enemy. Now, this Yukikaze has given up on the Kansas and has decided, I want to kill the carrier. Now, that's not a terrible idea in this situation, this late in the game. Going for a carrier run and a destroyer isn't the worst thing you could possibly do. Now, unfortunately for Tuna, the Kaga has decided to use him for spaced armor, which is real unfortunate. Now, I don't know if you've ever been in this situation, but it feels pretty freaking helpless when a teammate just grabs a hold of you and starts shoving you through the water, and it really does not feel good. Especially when you know you're in a cruiser and you're angled currently, and if the Kansas sees you, you're dead. And remember, this is a carrier game, so there's a good chance that the Kansas is going to be seeing him. Now, fortunately, the carrier's got his hands full with that destroyer at the moment. Now, you can see the carrier actually is flying straight for him. But at the last possible second, Tuna manages to break away from the carrier that's shoving him into his imminent demise. And the carrier puts himself in a position where either he gets depth struck or he just gets hit. And in this case, the Kansas actually just hits him. And, I mean, he hits him pretty hard. He gets about, I don't know, 17,000 damage off of him, roughly. Maybe 13,000 damage. But, he does manage to smash him. But he also goes behind the island, which means that he can't do it again. So the carrier gets away. Now, Yukikaze hits this Saipan with 2 of his torpedoes. He's firing his guns, and then he does the weird thing. And now, I say weird, it's not really that weird, because there's only 2 people left, and he's close to this guy. So using a torp reload booster here to kill this guy isn't that big a deal. But he's going to waste it, because he's able to kill the guy with guns. And now he's trying to smoke up. So he's using all of his things for no reason whatsoever. I don't know why, but whatever. He does manage to kill the guy. That's the important thing. And that just leaves the Kansas, and our team has the win in the bag at this point. You can see the carrier is basically having 0 time to return planes. Like, he's just immediately able to attack the Kansas over and over again. But Tuna takes down the Kansas with HE from the mines, and we end up winning the match. So all in all, it ended up doing pretty well for us. 2,500 base XP, 3 kills, top of the leaderboard, and we finally have enough to get to our tier 8 when it comes out. So let me know what you guys think about that. And I got to tell you, coming up in the near future, we have some ridiculous games, including one in the Montana that you guys are just going to absolutely love, where I go Super Saiyan God, aka, actually, we go Ultra Instinct on the enemy team. So I hope you're ready for that one. It's going to be solid. And have a great weekend. If you like what I'm doing, punch the like button, leave a comment below, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, and as always, I will see you in the next video.